Hello. This is my good friend Mazen Hajali, who will be joining us today. Mazen, thank you for coming on the show. And thank you for agreeing to participate in this project.
Oh, no problem, Lucas.
Yeah, all right. Well, to just get things started, I'm just kind of wondering, a lot of what we're doing right now is to see kind of the differences in our education based sort of on our cultural, upbringings in a lot of ways. And I just have a couple questions I'm very interested in. I'll be sure to share my experiences as well. But I'm also wondering what's a typical day in the life of Mazen? What do you do? You get out of bed and what do you do?
Well, I feel like I'm very family oriented, so I kind of get out of the bed, and usually we like to have breakfast as a family together.
Mm-hmm.
We have breakfast. We have usually a traditional Middle Eastern breakfast that consists of fava beans and olive oil and other delicacies.
Okay.
And we usually continue on the days. On Fridays, we might go to the mosque as a family together, get some real cultural and personal experiences. The evenings, usually I like to hang out with my friends, but if I am at home, then a good movie always does it for me.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I honestly, I think a day in my life when I'm at home is relatively similar. Although, we kind of eat sort of Americanized breakfasts like Lucky Charms, stuff like that. And then I kind of go to school. After school, I hang out with friends until the evening, and then around dinner, I go home, eat dinner with my family. My mom was always very strict about that we have to eat as a family. I think
Family that eats together stays
exactly.
together.
Well, except my parents got divorced, but anyways. But I do think that we have a strong sense of family. So in one way, I would say we do stay together a lot. But in any event, so a lot of what we have to talk about, given that it's a teaching course, is I was just wondering about your life in the educational system. Now I know that Lebanese immigrants are actually the highest achieving educational immigrants in America. And I'm wondering what your take on that is, how, not to be what grades you get or anything like that, but how serious is it that you take school, what motivates you? See, for me, my motivation from school is that since day one, my dad was always very strict that I was going to go to college, and then graduate school was an option. So I kind of have this inborn I just feel throughout my life I've heard it so many times that if I weren't to graduate college, it would just be as if I died in a way. Do you see what I mean by that?
Yes.
It might be a little bit of a dramatic way to put it, but anyways, I'm wondering kind of something like that, what drives you, and how and what do you feel in the educational system really helps you learn stuff like that,
Well, from an early age, I actually remember vividly I would do homework and my handwriting would be really bad, and my mom would remake me do it several times in a row. My mom was actually she's gonna hate me. My handwriting still sucks, Mom. But just from a very young age, it was very school driven. I think that's how most Lebanese Arabs and communities are. They're very, very school driven. I think it's because the nation they come from is a very poor nation, and they realize that they sacrificed a lot to get here for their children, and they want to see their children have a better life. And I kind of see that my parents work very hard for giving me these kind of opportunities. Mm-hmm. I really want to make them proud. So I feel like I have some kind of chip on my shoulder or an obligation to my family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I kind of feel a similar way. It's almost like I have to achieve a level that would satisfy my parents, if that doesn't sound a little bit, I don't know. Well, another thing I just remembered while we were talking is that my dad, I used to come home from school and I used to do my homework, and then he would add on extra math problems. He had sheets, and he would make us do it for 30 minutes a day. And I used to hate those sheets, and I still do, but anyways.
Did it get you better at math?
Supposedly. but no. All right. And then I'm just wondering what were some big tests in high school? I know for me, I had to take the ACT and the SAT subject matter tests. And I studied a lot for both of those, and I ended up scoring actually relatively highly on those. And I'm pretty proud of my scores on those. But I remember the tremendous stress I felt coming upon these tests, and it was almost just a feeling in my stomach as if I didn't do well, it would be detrimental to me as a person. But I did perform them correctly, and I'm pretty proud of my test results. So
Well, I didn't have to take the SAT, but I did take the ACT.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my parents stressing the importance of it, and they actually put me in a course.
Yeah, I actually had a course too. Sorry.
So they put me in a course to ensure I would do better. I don't know if the course really did help. I don't know if I took it as seriously as I should have at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, junior year, like almost out of college. I mean, out of high school.
Yeah.
But I like to say that I scored very highly because I think from a young age, my parents always pushed reading, writing, math, and science. And they always used to make me read extra books. And like, whenever I used to get a math problem wrong, like, they'd always sit down with me and really like explain the fundamentals of it. And I feel like that's why I scored so well. I actually got a perfect score on my math without a calculator.
Nice.
But yeah.
Well done. I got a 34 in the reading. That's my highest achievement. But all right, and then just like, what are some things about school that made you happy? Like, what are some things in high school that like really got you up like to keep going to school?
Honestly, I think sports was one of the biggest motivators. Being part of the soccer team really made the fall semester a lot easier and like just more exciting because you know you have games, you have practice, you have a lot going on. But it did make school a little bit harder because you had to add that on top of soccer practice, and you're usually like tired after that. But I feel like I kind of find a good balance. I used to do like my homework right after school before practice, so I wouldn't let it interfere. Other things, just hanging out with my friends, honestly.
I was gonna say a very similar thing, if you don't mind me interrupting.
Oh,
I
go
was
ahead.
thinking like, for me, it's really the social aspects that really motivated me in school. Like I would always look forward to certain classes with certain classmates, and I would really look forward, especially like this, like if I ever had a class with multiple like really close friends in it, it was like the best day ever. I would look forward to that one class each day, and like I just think the social encounters that I had at school are what kind of motivated me to continue going. And of course, I probably would have went anyways, but I think that's what I really made me happy in school was just kind of connecting with new people and like, I don't know. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you. Were you going to say something?
No, I think you summed it up honestly.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. So, awesome. What were some of the things that you worried about in high school? I know for me, it was a lot about like making sure my GPA was right for colleges and ACT, and also honestly like getting a girlfriend and stuff like that was a little bit worrisome, but like not really. It all worked out.
For me, I think some of the issues I had, well, I don't know if they would say issues, but things that were stressful that stayed on my mind, honestly, was one of my first things, honestly, was like beginning of high school, I was kind of overweight, and I really pushed to myself that I need to get better shape just for like social reasons, especially like the bullying in high school, which is not okay.
Agreed.
Other things, let's see. Of course, girls, but that's just normally through the stages of puberty. Other thing, I guess my parents always pushing me to do better. Like if I ever got like a 95, my mom would always be like, "How come you didn't get 100?" And like that always bothered me, but like I knew where she was coming from.
Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my family, it was like if you got an A, it was just like an A. There was no like.
No, dude,
There were
I
no
got
different declensions.
I got
to
a
it. It was
4.0 one semester. My mom asked me why I didn't get a 4.4. I wasn't in any AP classes at that time because she found that my cousin got like a 4.4 and like
Wow.
she like eventually I took AP classes and I got a higher than a 4.0 GPA.
Well done. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never really achieved a perfect 4.0 before, but I've come close. I've had like a 3.8 before, stuff like that. But all right, and then it looks like we're supposed to share pictures from high school, but I don't really have any photos on me. Cut.